Hi, my name is Joe Canine, the Video Whisperer, and this is going to be a talk on YouTube and SEO, search engine optimization, what they have to do with each other, and what it all has to do with your own websites and blogs and anything else like this you do on the internet. I'm going to start it where it started for me back in 2008. This is about the time I decided I was going to go into business for myself as a videographer, and somebody sent me a link to a talk given by a guy called Bruce Clay, who at the time was considered and may still be the top or one of the top SEO experts in the world. He'd been around since the internet was a pup. The thing that caught my attention was this. He said, at that time, 2007, 2008, if in the next 2 years you don't have video content, meaning on your website, you won't rank. All right? Now, he went on to talk about engagement objects, and that's the first thing I'm going to go into a little bit of detail to put everything I'm about to tell you into context. But going back to his prediction, you might say he was a little ahead of his time, and he was. But I did then become a videographer specializing in business videos, so I joined a lot of groups, followed a lot of blogs, and so forth, and kept track of video, SEO, video and marketing, and all that kind of thing. And I can tell you that probably within the last 2, maybe 3 years, the general consensus across the world, and by some pretty important people, was that what he said then was coming true. And now the current prediction is that by 2015, 90% of all consumer traffic on the internet will be driven by video. Okay, now let's go back to engagement objects. What he was talking about, and at the time video was fairly new, you know, YouTube at the time, if it existed then, and I think it did, was funny cat videos and that kind of a thing. Few companies had videos on their sites at that time, but it was starting to show up in the internet, and people tend to watch video. And so it became something that people engaged with. You click start, you watch the video, you then tend to stay on the site a little longer, presuming it was a good video and got your interest, and you click through some other pages. And so it became a metric of measuring the effectiveness of your site and people staying on it and doing things. Back in those days, I'm not sure what other kind of engagement objects there were. Photographs would be one, links on the site, something that you do and you click and it takes you somewhere within the site or elsewhere. But of course these days there's all kinds of engagement metrics. They include liking, sharing, and you can share a multitude of ways. You can share to Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Tumblr, dozens of ways you can share. You can subscribe to the person's site, subscribe to the blog, subscribe to their YouTube channel. That's engagement. You can comment. Comments are engagement, and so forth. And so the point was, in terms of a search engine trying to offer up what you're looking for, it wants to give you relevant content in exchange for your search. It wants to provide you as close as possible to what you're actually looking for. And the way the search engines measure what is relevant to your search is a number of things. Of course, it includes keywords, but keywords in the content of your site, not in the back end. A lot of people don't know that Google has ignored meta tag keywords for years. Why? Because that's one of the things that people used to do to try to get around their ranking by filling up their back end with all kinds of keywords to get the site to rank or something like that. But the keywords are there in your content, and that's where the search engines look. They read the content. And if the content seems relevant to the search, good. That's a little check mark. All right, well, there's probably a lot of sites out there that have the relevant keywords on it. So how does the search engine know how to prioritize it in terms of offering up to you what it is you are searching for specifically? All right, well, let's go to video content on a site. We already know that video causes people to stay on a site more than 2 times longer than they would have if there wasn't video. All right, they watch the video, they get interested. It makes them click on some other pages on the site. And then there's other engagement metrics. If the video and the site and the content are really good, the search engine notices that the person's YouTube site now got subscribed to, their blog got subscribed to, their page got shared to Facebook, to Google+, to LinkedIn, etc. You get the idea. And the more there is of these engagement metrics connected with that particular site that seems to have relevant information that you're looking for, the higher it ranks on the Google search, so that the ones that rank the highest are going to be most relevant to what you're looking for, and that's how it works. Now let's go back to YouTube specifically, which is what this talk is supposed to be about. We all know that Google bought YouTube some years ago, and at the time YouTube was, you might consider, the largest video engine out there. Well, it's come a long way since Google bought it. It's made tremendous advances. Yes, it used to be about funny cat videos and all of that, but it's much more now. But let me tell you something a lot of people don't know, and I discovered this by accident about a year ago. And I wrote a blog on it called YouTube Drops a Bomb. And when I put the blog out, it turns out a lot of other professionals didn't know it either, and probably still don't. A lot of people probably still don't know it. And that is the fact that if you have a video uploaded that has narrative content in it, in other words, there's people talking, YouTube automatically transcribes it using voice recognition technology. They've been doing this for a year, probably more. Why? Is it so deaf people can watch videos? Well, it would help deaf people if there was an automatic transcript that they could turn on to watch it, but that's not the real reason. The real reason is the search engine has no idea what's in your video. It can't watch the video, but it can read. All right, so if there's a transcript in there, well, there you go. Here's another way to offer up a highly sought-after commodity on the internet, which is video content. It's another way to help rank a site or to rank a video. If you were to go into the back end of your YouTube site and look at the transcript that was generated for one of your videos that has narrative content, you'd probably die laughing because they're fraught with errors. However, YouTube has made it really, really easy to fix it, so it's accurate. Okay, so in a minute we're going to go to the computer and I'm going to start showing you all these things, but first let me tell you a short story. I wouldn't have been able to give this talk had I not sort of accidentally produced a video that sort of ticked all these boxes. And here's what happened. You see, about a year ago, I needed a new camera. And like anybody else, I did an internet search to sort of narrow down the field. And when I got it narrowed down a bit, I started looking down at the reviews of the various different cameras. That's engagement, by the way. And then when I narrowed it down to like 2 or 3 cameras, I started looking for video reviews, of which you can always find on just about any product out there. And sure enough, there were several on the camera that I was most interested in. And I was sold on the camera, and I bought it. And I got it, and I was even more blown away than I thought I would be. Totally loved the camera. But I didn't like any of the video reviews. Why? I've been a cameraman all my life. What did I want to see? I wanted to see what the camera can do. Show me some footage. You know, it was just a lot of technobabble geek stuff. You know what I mean? And one guy zoomed into a cat on his couch at the end of it. That was the footage. So I said, all right, I'm going to do one. I'll do my own review. And I'd never done one before. And long story short, it was a 14-minute video. And I don't remember exactly, but I think within about a month, it was the top-ranking video for searches on that camera on the entire internet. Within 4 months, it hit 10,000 views on YouTube. Right now, it's just under 30,000, just short of a year later. I did a part 2, which is just short of 18,000 views. So between the 2 videos in a year, I've had about 50,000 views. But more than that, it caused the blog that I have, the Video Whisperer blog, to go from about 17 followers to I've forgotten what it is, but I think it's 150. My YouTube channel went from, must have been around 50 followers, 50 subscribers to, it's over 500. I think it's just under 600 now. This is just in the last year. My Facebook Video Whisperer page went from really no followers at all to, I think it's about 80 now. We're going to look at all these things, so if I'm lying, you're going to see the figures. But at any rate, the point is, all of these things went from nowhere to, they zoomed up to the top. I'm going to show you why that happened. And furthermore, you have to realize that all of these things are interlinked. The blog is interlinked with the website, with Facebook, with Twitter, with LinkedIn. The bottom of my email, my Gmail, has links to all of these different sites. And so creating engagement is more than just putting all those factors into one thing. It's putting all of those factors into everything that you do. And so somebody will find my YouTube video on this camera on YouTube, and it brings them back to my blog. And next thing you know, they become a subscriber. And so on. You get the idea. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to the computer, and let's start with showing you the blog that I wrote that started it all, and then I'm going to show you what happened with it. Alright, here's the original blog. It was called Pure Fricking Magic, Sony HXR NX30. And let me read you the beginning so you get the idea of why I titled it that way. Urban legend has it that buried deep in the guts of the Boeing 747 somewhere is a little black box. A young engineer once noted that in the schematics the box was given the cryptic designation PFM. It seemed no one knew what the letters stood for. Years later he tracked down one of the original engineers and asked him. Pure effing magic is what the old man told him. Well, for anybody that was searching for this camera, Sony HXR NX30, that's the keywords. And once you've narrowed down what you're looking for and you know the name of the camera, that is what you're going to type in. And I'll show you in a bit that this title comes up right up top. And if you see a title called Pure Fricking Magic, you're going to get interested, aren't you? All right, so there is the blog, and there is the first 14-minute review I did. And there was part 2. Here's all the content. These red things you see here are clickable links. They've been clicked on many, many times. This is all engagement. But mainly, this is all very relevant content to what the camera was. And later on, I did some productions. There's a music video. There's a video I did for local business. And at the end here, you'll notice that I can from here, and anybody else can from here, share it to email, Twitter, Google, LinkedIn, Facebook, and more. And if you click more, stumble upon, press this, dig, Reddit, Pinterest, Tumblr, you get the idea. These are all the ways that people can share it. So now let's go to YouTube. Here's the video on my YouTube channel. So I'm clicking Edit, which takes me into the back end. No one else can see this but me. And there's the title, Sony HXR NX30 Cameraman's Review. That's the YouTube title. Again, if somebody's searching for this camera and they see Cameraman's Review, review is a keyword, but Cameraman's Review is different from what all the others say, so I might be interested in that being a cameraman. The very first line is a clickable link to my blog. To have a clickable link in YouTube, it should always be your first thing in the description area. And it has to be the full URL, including HTTP, etc. Okay? And the description is all very relevant information. And then down here are all the tags, and these are all relevant tags. Sony, HXR NX30, review, video, tests, test, reviews, intro, best reviews, Steadicam. These are all things that people might be searching for when they're looking for a good camera. You'll notice on YouTube you can click these boxes here, and when you publish your video it will automatically be shared to Twitter or Facebook. I have Facebook unchecked because when I share it to Twitter, my Twitter shares it to Facebook automatically, and I don't like having multiple things showing up on Facebook. So that's that. All right, now let's go up here to the top where it says Annotations. I'm going to click that and show you what you can do. Now here it says Add Annotation. You have various choices here. We're going to select Note. And you can put a note in here. Watch my next great video. Now down here you can click Link. And you can put various types of links in here. This is set for video, so I could put a video link if I wanted them to watch, say, the next related video. And there is a part 2 to this one. There's a drop-down menu. You can have them go to a playlist, a channel, a Google Plus profile page. You can have them subscribe. Ooh, I didn't know that. They keep changing things. You could send them to a fundraising project or an associated website. In my case, I chose associated website. So let's delete this here because I already have one in there at the end. You see right down here at the bottom? That's where I put the annotation. It starts at about It starts at 14 minutes and 19 seconds into the video. This is right at the end, and it says click here for more Video Whisper info, articles, and videos on the Sony HXR NX30. And when they're on YouTube, or wherever they see this video, if they click this, it will take them to my blog. Okay, so that's one way to create engagement. And you can put multiple annotations throughout your video. I wouldn't necessarily do that, but certainly when they get toward the end and the main message has been gotten across, well, you want to give them the opportunity to go somewhere else, somewhere related, or to your website, whatever. That's one way of doing it. Okay? And when you've done that, of course, you have to hit publish. Okay, so let's get out of that. Well, let's go to captions. All right, you'll see it has automatic captions. And let me read them to you. It good. I'm Joe. The video is spurned today. I'm going to do a camera review, something I've never done before. But this little guy has got me real excited. The name in the camera's up there at the top. Anyway, it's close, but no cigar. So what I did, let's go back to track list. I uploaded the transcript. And this is an accurate transcript of the entire 14-minute video. I'm going to use another video to demonstrate how to do this, how to correct the transcript later. But first let's finish with this one. Okay? Okay, now we're on the analytics page for this video, the Sony HXR NX30. This is set for last 30 days. In the last 30 days it's been seen over 3,000 times. An estimated 15,000 minutes have been watched, and I've made $2.27. But also in the last 30 days it got 25 likes, 1 dislike, 23 comments, no shares, 5 added my site as a favorite, and I got 20 new subscribers because of this video in the last 30 days. Now you can go up here, drop down the menu, and you can look at the lifetime of the video, or the last, this quarter, or this year. There's all kinds of choices there. Let's go to the lifetime. In this case, it's just under a year. And in the lifetime, it's had 29,632 views. It's been watched, well, 106 days and 16 hours. It's made $109. But let's look at the engagement. 217 likes, 6 dislikes, 208 comments, 16 shares, 55 added it as a favorite, and I got 208 subscribers because of this video. Okay, there's various other things you could look at in analytics, but now let's go to some other aspect of this. Okay, so now we're on the YouTube page. This is where somebody would view this video. I want to show you comments. There's 194 comments. Now I learned something interesting about comments. When I was looking at some of these other videos, like this is one that I looked at here, his has been up for I think 2 years and he has 25,000 views, so I've overtaken him already. But when I was watching this video and the reviews underneath it, as well as a couple of others, I noticed that a lot of the reviews are just pure drivel. And I'm not certain, and I'm not really going to accuse anybody of trying to bump their engagement up, but it seemed like a lot of the comments just really had nothing to do with anything. But what I noticed on mine, I have a lot of great engagement with these reviews. A lot of information, a lot of questions, and in every single case, I would answer the question or acknowledge the receipt of the comment. And when I started doing that, I found out by accident that when I comment, it counts as a view. All right, so admittedly, of all of these 194 comments, well, I wouldn't say half of them are mine, but a good portion of them are mine, but they're all informative, so they all add to the relevant content of what's being engaged with. Okay? Okay, now we're going to go back to the blog, and I want to show you some of the analytics that are available to me there. And what we're looking at here are daily stats for the last month. You can see that this is all-time views is 22,000, a bit over 22,000. The best ever in a single day was 180, and there have been 275 comments on the blog. Now we can go into a longer term view, months, and you can see way back here on, that line is so thin, November 2011 is when I started the blog. I wasn't doing it very seriously, but I kind of like publishing things, and every now and then I would write an article, and you can see for an entire year it sort of dragged along the bottom here at about 15 views a month. All right, and then here I started doing some video tutorials on lighting and stuff and got a little more interest. But on this date, June 2013, is when I released this Sony video, and you can see that month the statistics doubled, and that they've been going up ever since. Now, let's go into a summary here. And this is a summary of views. Presently it's set on the last 7 days, and you can see at the top of the list, well, the top of the list is the home page, but 181 views of the Sony article. If we go to all time, you'll see that there have been 7,563 views of that article and that video on this blog. This doesn't count people seeing it separately on YouTube, which happens to be about a third of all of the views on the blog all time. But here's the point I'm trying to make. Let's just look at, well, today's not over, so let's look at yesterday. All right, yesterday that Sony article got 25 views, but the blog got 80. So what's really happened here is, because of a video that checked all the boxes on relevancy and engagement, people wound up coming to the blog via YouTube and via LinkedIn and various other places, and started discovering other content. And as a result, the subscribership went up, everything went up, statistics have gone up, I have more reach, I have a bigger profile on Google, and I'm more discoverable. And this is the result of producing content that is not only relevant, but also has a very high engagement value. Okay? All right, now we're going to do a Google search. If I know the name of the camera, and I almost certainly have if I've been looking and narrowed it down, and I want some information on the Sony NX30. And HSR, there you go. And here we have some paid for ads. Here's the Sony site, Sony product detail, bhphotovideo.com, that's a huge outfit that sell equipment, Amazon.com, and then there we are, that's my review. There's that other guy's review, and the next one down is the blog article. Okay, now if I was searching for Sony HXR NX30 review, because that's what I did. You'll see the blog article comes up first, immediately followed by the video. Okay? Now the funny thing is I did this talk 4 times to some local business meetings, and every time I did this live search I would get different results depending on the computer that I used and the location I was at. But in all cases, either this video here or this article or both wound up basically certainly on page 1 and usually at or near the top above any other similar reviews or videos. Okay, the next thing I'm going to show you is how to fix that transcript on YouTube, and to do that we're going to use a video I made, a little shameless promotion for myself. It's a short little video. I think you'll find it's quite cute. First we're going to watch the whole thing. I'm going to force you to watch it, and right after that I'm going to show you the transcript that Google figured out, and then I'm going to show you how to correct it.
Go. Does your business need a video?
Does the Pope have a balcony? Duh.
How would you feel if you walked into a shop and there was no one there? Just some writing on the walls and a couple of pictures. What would that remind you of? Listen, by 2017, videos will be the majority of all consumer internet traffic. Consumer traffic, not funny cat videos. Google it. That's almost 60% more than it is right now.
And right now, it's a lot.
If you want to buy something these days, what do you do?
Well, if you're smart like me, you Google it first.
Right, and if there's a video, you watch it, don't you? Video gives your website a friendly face, and it welcomes people to your website. It can show them what you have to offer. It can explain your unique selling points, show how things work, and all the things you could do if you were right there talking to the person yourself. Most important, viewers are anywhere from 64 to 85% more likely to buy after watching a video.
Oh, and by the way, professional video is not as expensive as it used to be.
All right, ladies, may I have my desk back, please? Thank you. Good night, girls.
Good night.
Okay, I'm back. Here we are in the back end of this video, and we're going to fix, well, first I'm going to show you the transcript that YouTube created for it. Here's what YouTube thinks it said. Gang, the show business he gave die. Does the pair have a balcony? Anna, how would you feel if you walk into a shop? I'm that was on now, just some ice on the walls on. Cover the picket, but without remind you of mom. Right, that won't do. Alright, so let's fix it. We go up to track list. It gives us an option to add a new track. I'm going to click that. And if you have a transcript already, you can simply upload it. YouTube will sync it. But we're going to choose this one, transcribe and sync. That opens up this box. You'll notice it's automatically checked to automatically pause video while typing. There's your play. And if you need to go back 5 seconds, you can go back 5 seconds. So watch what happens. I'm going to hit the play button.
Go. Does your business need a video?
Does the Pope have a balcony? Duh.
You get the idea.
How would you feel if you walked into a shop and...
So the point is, it's real easy to fix. You type, and when you're typing, the video stops. And when you stop, the video plays, and you can just go phrase by phrase by phrase straight through to the end. And when you're done, you hit sync. And YouTube, this box will be all full of stuff. You don't have to worry about paragraphs or anything else. You hit sync and YouTube will automatically sync every single phrase to the exact right portion of the video. It's amazing. And that's it. Those are the salient points. So let's summarize what's important here. In terms of having a website, a blog or something like that, it's important to have video content. Video is the highest ranking engagement object there is. All right, so now when you do have a video, make sure it is correctly titled as a relevant title that people actually search for. It has in its first line of the description a full URL that takes them to where you want them to go, be it a website page, blog, or anywhere else. Have the description be full of relevant content. There's lots of information you could put in there. Make sure you have and correct the transcript and have a transcript on the video. Share it yourself as soon as you post it to everywhere you can, to all of your social media sites. Yes, you can ask your friends to watch it and share it, but in my experience that usually doesn't amount to much. Maybe I just don't have that many friends, I don't know. But the thing is, if the video is good, has good and relevant content, is well titled and all the rest of it, it should start to take off on its own, and the one I showed you today is an example of that. It's a niche area, right? A prosumer video camera. However, there's lots of people apparently looking for that. And as a result of that video and those blog posts, I know for a fact, I've personally sold about 20 of them that I know of. Not that I'm trying to, but people found it useful. And I'm constantly getting feedback, multiple feedbacks from multiple people, multiple times from the same people on the camera, either thanking me for the review or asking further questions and so forth. So, what else? It's also important to have multiple ways to disseminate your information. Have a website for your store or your business or whatever. Have a blog that relates to the website, its products and services. Post videos in your blog, post videos on your website, cross-link them, have a YouTube channel, have a LinkedIn. Every time you do a new blog article or have a new video or something like that, disseminate it across all of these things. And eventually what happens is over time, and depending on how good your content is, your profile will generally raise in rank on Google, like your name, your website, your company, or in this case, well, for example, for me, all right, what did it do for me? Okay, my blog is addressed to young videographers or videographers who maybe want to get a little bit better. In this day and age, maybe they didn't go to film school, they just, equipment's cheap these days, anybody can get it. And there's a lot of amateurs out there, but some of them really want to learn the basics, and that's the niche audience my blog is addressed to. Okay? That doesn't get me business. That doesn't get me business videos, obviously. But what it does do is it raises my profile on Google. It all works together because the blog is linked to the website. It gets traffic to my site. People watch and read stuff on the site. And let me tell you something. That video with the two little girls I did last December, I posted it really hoping it would go viral. Well, it didn't. It's had about 1,000 views since then. Not bad. And I haven't really done much with it since. But it is on my website. And within 12 hours of posting that, and this has never happened to me before, someone had shared it to someone down in London who called me up. And as a matter of fact, I have three videos of his on the boards right now. So I got direct business from that video. Yeah, we started in January, and we just finished shooting last week. That was one result, immediate result from that video. But somehow, and I can't really track it all down, this month and last month have been the busiest months I've ever had since being in England. I started here about 3 years ago. I've got something like 140 videos that I've done mainly for businesses on my YouTube site, which is not all that I've done. But in the last 2 months, I've had over 20 videos that I'm working on. So the point is, it was a lot of hard work, all right? over the past year to build up the blog. I lucked out in doing that Sony video because it just seemed to be, you know, the real charm on my site. But the thing is, there's a lot of other good content on my site, and because that video got people there, I'm talking about the blog, then they started reading the other articles, and then my subscribers started going up. I get new YouTube subscribers every single day. I don't even know why, but I get 2 or 3 a day. I used to get none. But anyway, remember, content is king, and good content gives you the potential for good engagement, and good engagement with good content gives you ranking, so long as you provide the means for people to engage. All right? Good. Got to feed the cat. Yes, sir, I'm on it.